Guys, hello and welcome to Skycurser Daily number 36. Today we're going to be focusing on picking up where we left off yesterday, partially maybe modify the way that we're doing a score indicator. Also, at the end of the stream yesterday, you'll remember that my computer was slowing down. And I was wondering if it was mainly because of the data structure maps that we were creating, or if it was just the fact that I'm doing so much with my old computer that it is slowing down. So I hopped off stream, I tested it out, and it worked perfectly fine, but I'm still thinking that might need to be reworked quite a bit, mainly because there's going to be so many more objects as we move forward that we don't want to create data structures if we don't need to create data structures, because anytime we create them it takes up memory in the game and on whatever machine we're using. So if I can avoid that, I would like to avoid that. So I think I'm going to, and so we will only create the data structure if necessary. We are already destroying the data structure, so we know that that is not taking up more memory than it should be, but I think the fact of the matter is that we're just creating too many of them because of how many bullets come on screen with the Skycurser fighter pilot, so with the Vulcan cannon. So we might just spend a little bit of time reworking that, and I think I will start also working on the score indicator just a little bit to clean it up. We did have it in a really good spot yesterday. Just kind of a point is generated based on whichever enemy is destroyed, and we show that to the user really quickly. But once again, I think I'm going to modify the weapons, and then at the end of level 1 yesterday, at the end of the stream even, we were trying to get from level 1 to level 2, and we were having a problem on level 2. Our controls were deactivated and I couldn't figure out why. Hopped off stream last night and I did a little bit of troubleshooting, and I'm going to show you exactly what it was. It was something really simple. So let me get over there. Sup, Chris? Okay. Now let's go to the object, specifically the Skycurser object, and I want to show you exactly what it was that was blocking me from having movement on level 2. So this object, specifically the step event, is a really crazy step event. A lot of this needs to be taken out and put into scripts. I'm going to have to do that. It's going to be a little bit meticulous. I don't need to spend the time to do it right now, but let's just talk through this for a minute. So when the game starts, we are doing a check to see if the level has started, if a level has started, and depending on which level we're on, well, I take that back. Depending on which level we're on, we have different variables set, but we do set level start to 1 each time the level is starting. If it's not start to 1, if it's not set to 1, then we know the level. We're already past this section right here. Basically, we're helping Skycurser fly to the right, then fly back left, and we're setting level 1 start to 0 after that. So after that occurs, we're into this section right here, and we know that Skycurser has just been created. We make sure that he's flying the correct direction. We reset a couple of things after flying left. And then once we get back to here, we're running everything else. This hits every other, the whole rest of the entire level. So we were running into an issue where I couldn't find the variable, but this variable right here was blocking us on level 2. So I set this this variable at the very end of level 1. boss dead, Skycurser freeze. And that the whole point of that is just to make sure that Skycurser just kind of like, you kind of want to take the controls away from the player so that they can enjoy the animation that's about to happen and make sure that they don't somehow run into the enemy and destroy themselves or anything like that. So we pause the player, we let Gaki get destroyed and blow up, and then coming into level 2, I mean up to this point I haven't had to reset this for level 2. I've either jumped straight to level 2, which has been, you know, this variable never even gets set, or now we have level 1 finishing and going to level 2. So level 1, when level 1 was finishing, was setting this variable to true, and at that point all the keys are disabled, Skycurser's fire ability is disabled, and so we just had to make sure that this was set to false. Once we set this to false, everything was basically released and Skycurser was able to be controlled again. Chris, you asked me if I got a chance to watch that video. No, I haven't gotten a chance to watch it yet. I'll be watching that later after I get off the stream tonight. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I just wanted to circle back around as I usually do. If I run into a bug right at the end of the stream, I want to make sure that you guys know what it was, if I was able to solve it, and then we can just pick up where we left off. So I think what I'll do, guys, first things first is take a look at this script that we created with the weapons controller. And that for sure is going to be here. We are going to modify this a little bit anyway. It's not going to be Skycurser. No, I didn't change anything. Weapons, and it's in the mini blast bullet. We're going to export this out to a script. All this information right here, we're going to export it to a script. Yeah, we'll get that, man, for sure. We'll get the pause thing implemented. Shouldn't be hard. I read your text, so I know exactly what you were saying, how he said to do it. So I just haven't gotten a chance to reply. I've been doing yard work. So, all right. So here we are, room level 1, room level 2. And Chris, I don't think there's a lot of people in stream right now. Do you want to try to get the Skype thing working? Okay, cool. No worries, no worries. Alright, so script collision generate. Where we at? Where we at? Scripts. Skycurser weapons. Script collision generate. So we're doing a DS map creation immediately, and then we're checking for a weapon collision. And I think this is where most of my flaw is at the moment, guys. I think I could do this quite a bit better. Well, let me just think for a second. No, I mean this may be ideal. I think we could do it a little bit more intelligently, and let me just think about that for just a moment. If we did it a little bit more intelligently, we would just pass in all of the names of each of the units and check for a connection there. If any one of them had a connection, then we could potentially we could potentially then create a data structure map for each bullet and pass everything to one more script and basically yank it out of here and pull it into another script. That would prevent the data structure from being created. I don't know that I want to tear this down right now unless this just becomes unbearable. So I think I'm going to leave it alone for a moment and just keep moving forward for now based on what I'm seeing here and just kind of thinking through how this is going to work. I think I'm just going to keep moving forward for now. Okay. We were talking about potentially updating this score indicator so that it looks a little bit sexier. So let's try to do that. And right now that occurs. Let's go look at object base enemy. On destroy, we do an object score indicator. I think that's probably a helper. Yes, it is. Create step draw. Step event just decrements to let the Y position move upward. White flashing for a second, then normal for a second, then flashing invisible. Okay, got it, Chris. So we might have to just figure out a little bit of math here in order to get this right. Pardon me, guys. Sorry, I keep clearing my throat. Just did some yard work and I got some allergies. So y less than initial y minus 50 instance destroy. Until then we have 50 pixels to do something with. Okay, sounds good, Chris. Until then we have 50 pixels to do something with. So I think what we'll do is just do 20 pixels if y is less than or equal to initial y minus 20, else if y is less than or equal to initial y minus 30, else if y is less than or equal to initial y minus 40. Let me think about that for a second. 20, 30, 40. So we're good there. Go for 10. And, I think this is supposed to be. So y is decrementing the whole time. So y will be initial y minus 20. I think we need to say I think this would be correct if we said greater than or equal to initial y minus 20. This would also be greater than or equal to initial y minus 30. think I have to do this way. Sorry guys, I'm just thinking about this and trying to do this in my head. Greater than or equal to initial y minus 20. Greater than or equal to initial y minus 30. Greater than or equal to initial y minus 50. And then less than or equal to, or less than. Okay, I think we're good that way. And so here we'll do the flashing. So I'm gonna go grab. I just need to drag, put all this flashing stuff into a script. I haven't done that yet. It will be consolidated at some point here in the near future. So I need a flashing variable on this, I need a flash counter variable on this, I need a flash counter max on this. So let's go to the create event. Flashing equals false, flash counter equals 0, flash counter max equals 7. I may do this a little bit differently than this right here. I may not even need to do the flash counter is fine. Sure, let's give it a flash counter max. Let's create a step event. Well, we've already got the step event created. Let's add to it. Flash counter plus plus if flash counter is greater than or equal to flash counter max. Just gotta follow the Anderson project. Thanks a lot, and the Anderson project. Flash counter max. Flash counter greater than or equal to, and then flash counter max, flash counter equals 0. So restart the flash counter. Don't want it to ever just keep counting and get out of control. I think we'll do copy this guy, put him down here. Let's actually just put him right here. Okay, so this will be the normal range. This will be the flash, alpha flash range. And this will be the flash range. How's it going, the Anderson project? Okay. Flash counter mod 5 is equal to 0. I think we don't do mod 5. That's probably fine. Let's try it. Let's leave it at mod 5. Doing good, man. Doing good. Just working through Skycurser here and trying to make some progress. Alright, I think down here we'll simply do if flash counter mod 2 is equal to 0. Mod is also known as modulus. Modulus is just dividing the number that we have divided by 2 and looking for a remainder. So every even number, this will evaluate to 0, and whatever is in this will occur. If this was a 5, every 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 would evaluate to 0, and then whatever's in here would occur. So so at this point we just want to make this thing flash on and off, and I think we can do that by just using visible and say else visible equals true. And I think we might be in good shape here. Let me just take a look at this real quick. We don't need to worry about flashing in this case. Flashing does not need to exist here. Because it's going to be flashing while it's in this range right here. So we don't need to do anything to set it to true or false. As soon as it starts, it'll be flashing, or should be flashing if I did it right. Flash, normal, flash alpha, destroy. Let's try it. See what we got. See if it looks good or not. Well, I'm sure we'll have to do some tweaking. Alright, so we're just going to go in game here. First compile of the night is always the longest. So the Anderson project, are you working on any games right now? Waiting for the compile window here, still waiting. Pull it up here so you guys can see. Cryptic YT, how's it going? So I just asked the Anderson project if he's working on any video games. Are you, Mr. Cryptic? Are you working on any video games? .3D art. So you're an art guy. What are you using? see what we're missing here. Got some sort of compile error. Unexpected symbol, line 27. Missing my... That should fix it. Currently on a project, waiting on an email to get started. Awesome, man. Working with somebody you've worked with in the past? Ha! Love it, man, love it. You're doing some artwork and you're a programmer. Been there, done that. So the Anderson project, you're working on an animated series? I don't think I got that compile error again. Let's just follow it.
Mission 1, Death at Dusk.
Okay, so I know for sure this is a bug from what we just created, so let's see what we got here. I'm missing something. Copy, abort, take this over to our IDE. Drop this in here and see what the bug is. Draw event, line 17. Oh, it's missing a sprite index. Ooh, this might be... I might need to do draw text instead of draw sprite. Let me see if this is a possibility, guys. I normally do the flash white on top of a sprite, so I'm gonna just pull this over and do some research here, but I might just look it up in GameMaker first. Draw sprite ext. Okay, it's right there. Draw text ext, which I can apparently. Maximum width. Draw text color. Alpha. There we go. String to draw, distance in pixels between lines of text, maximum width in pixels, color for the top left of the drawn text, yada yada yada, alpha for the text. So that I think is what I need. Let me see if this one makes more sense or not. Angle, horizontal, vertical. The separator and the and the maximum width, kind of funny to me. I'd rather not use those if I don't have to. I think I'll try this one right here. What's this? So this shows the string separator, W, X scale, Y scale, angle, which are not down here. The separator and the width are not down here. So I guess I would be fooling myself if I thought that I didn't need to have the separator and the width. Let me look at this. So let's just stick with this one. String to draw. I don't know, I don't like the separator. Is there a default for width? Draw text color. This is way better. I don't need a separator and a width on this one, so we're going to use this guy. So yeah, this is a little bit different than the way we normally do it, obviously. So let's see what we need here. The X and Y position. Compile window, please go away. So we've already got the X and Y position. We need the string. This compile window though. And the so I think I'll basically take the score text, which is up here. There's my string. Instead of draw text right there, I'm going to use draw text underscore color. Make sure that's right. Yep. Make this guy disappear. And good grief. All right. XY score text C1 through C4, which I know for sure that the colors don't matter for this font because this is a custom font that we've added to the system, so these colors will not affect anything. And the alpha for the text, of course, will be 1. We might be able to do something here. Let me see if the white will change it. And then again, guys, we might not even need to control this right here. This will come in handy. Let's just take this guy right here down to, well, visible, true, and false is going to control most of that. Normal range will be here. I think that'll leave it alone. This I'm going to try to remove, and instead of that I'm going to just drop in the regular text. Sorry guys, I'm doing this on the fly here, so I'm just thinking and moving at the same time. And I think I can just do this guy too right here. This guy can probably also be just draw text. The difference is that we're not going to have all the other special effects happening, specifically these rectangle colors getting drawn. And last but not least, we've got that guy going, and we'll put the draw text in here. I think I still have it. Yep. Both fonts with a plus sign. Sweet, Chris. Anderson project, nice. Macromedia Flash, man, I don't know a lot of people who are using that anymore. That's cool, man. I love Macromedia Flash. Actually, I was using Macromedia Flash early on. Got a new follow. Who followed me? Oh, Encryptic. Thank you for the follow, man. Really appreciate it. Macromedia Flash to animate and do art. So I was doing the same thing early on, and was trying to figure out how I could use it for software development, but found out that early on the web community was really opposed to Macromedia Flash, the software web community, web software. Mainly because everybody kept pointing out its security flaws. But if you're using it for games, it's like the perfect use for Macromedia Flash, in my opinion. So, cool, man, awesome. You can also use, though, you know, if Macromedia Flash comes to a point where you'd like to get it to other, if you come to a point where you'd like to get it to other platforms, of course. You know, there are tons of other pieces of software that will let you export to other platforms. There may be even something in Macromedia Flash now that allows you to do that. But also JavaScript is kind of what the web software replacement of Macromedia Flash is, and people use it a lot to do animation in web software. All right. Draw text, draw text, draw text in every scenario. All right, I'm going to try that, see what we come up with. Make sure I'm not doing a draw sprite anywhere. I will remove these commented out lines here in a minute, if all is well. Cool, Chris. I'll pull those from Drive here in a minute and make sure they're updated. How's the volume for you guys? Can you guys hear me okay? And I'm waiting for a compile here. Just pull this up so we can all watch it. Oh, dude, I did completely miss your paragraph message. Let me look. I'm also just starting a YouTube channel that is going to have anything and everything game dev related. Right now there's nothing on it, but we got some guys working on tutorials in their respective fields, me being one of those guys. It's also going to have a game dev podcast that will be weekly live streamed on Twitch and then put on YouTube. Still getting everything set up with that though. Tight, man, tight. Sorry I missed that, man. Good luck. Of course, GameMaker crashes often when I use that. When I'm not focused on GameMaker and it's in the middle of that animation. So come on, cancel out of here. Let's boot GameMaker back up. Here we go. There we go. All right. Well, we didn't have to boot GameMaker back up. The executable died. The game is pretty loud. Yeah. Let me make sure that's at a good volume. Yeah, but I was saying, Mr. Cryptic, good luck, man.
Skycurser. Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
So no special effects. Okay, I think we're going to have to do this a little bit differently than the way we have it, because if everything was working properly, we would have just seen the effects occur. Let me think about this first and foremost. I didn't even see this happen. That was interesting. Greater than or equal to initial y. I'm doing my math up here. Greater than or equal to initial y minus 20. Okay, so it's past there. Then comes down to greater than or equal to initial y minus 30. Yep, I mean, I think the math is correct here. It definitely got into here the first time. That's where I had that error occur. Let's see if we can overwrite this color. I don't know if we can with this, but we'll try. And down here we basically do the same thing. Let's first see if this works.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Okay, that did not work either, and I think that's not going to work mainly just because of, C white is not going to overwrite our custom font. The way GameMaker works, you can use their fonts, and if you use their fonts, or basically the fonts that are on your machine by default, you can switch back and forth between the colors that are applied to the sprite. Or you can add your own custom font, which we've done in a couple of instances. And when you add your own custom font, these color applications don't apply to your custom font. So I'm thinking about, instead of doing it that way, maybe taking this guy, putting it here, changing this to 0. If this works, we'll at least be able to see it occur. Debating, Chris. No, man, I think that's not worth it. I'm still testing here, so let me finish testing. Okay.
Amtrak train bound from Washington, D.C. to New York.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Okay, so that is actually working, I could tell. It might have been a little bit hard to see, but let me make this a little bit more obvious. You don't have a lot of time in that 50 pixel window, so I might change the distance first off, and then second off, let's change this to 3 instead of 5. That'll make it happen more frequently. That's just a general flash. And the visible, true and false, doesn't seem to be controlling anything. So I would say that the visible, that tells me then about GameMaker that the visible mainly applies to the sprite and not to text that is inside of an object. So visible false here, we'll just go 0 here, and take this guy out, leave him normal for a minute. And then instead of 50, let's go a little bit larger here. 30, 40, 70, 70. Play.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Okay, let me think just a minute longer about what's occurring there, because we want to take this guy out. Mainly why I want to think about it for a minute is because what I'm seeing happening is that it is staying one consistent color longer than I expect it to. So I think it flashes initially like we were hoping it would do, and then it stays consistent, and then I think we would maybe it's going to stay consistent there as well. So I think we could just really, this is really calling for us to just create a script here, but I think this will do it as well. Let me do some reading again really quick, guys, so I can see if I can change the color of the font via kind of the way that I'm doing it here with these draw blend modes. So give me just a minute while I do some reading. I'll do it for you guys. Draw text, GMS, change color. Let's go here for a minute. So still just reading here. That's pretty cool. Typed letters. That's really cool. Blinking text, yeah. I mean, all the extra stuff I'm doing I could remove, but was hoping that I could use draw set blend mode. Draw set blend mode ext with text. Or I type wrong. Okay, that's fine. Mod ext, I typed it wrong. I saw something right here that intrigued me related to this, creating a shine effect to sweep across text. drawing a surface might be the way to go. Oh, this may not be working right here, the bounding box left. So I may need to set it. B box left. Return to the position of the left-hand side of the bounding box. X position of the left-hand bounding box for the instance where the bounding box is defined by the maximum width of the height of the mask. So I need to set a mask. I need to set a mask and a mask index. Even when a sprite has a precise collision mask, the bounding box exists and is used for certain things, and so you can use this variable to find it. Please note when the instance has no sprite assigned, B box variables will always return 1. So we could do a couple of things. We could create an invisible sprite and put that as the sprite and make sure it's going to be bigger than the text. And even if it's not bigger than the text, we could get it to work. But I'm curious if I can do a mask index instead. I spelled that wrong. Let's try again. There it is. Sets the collision mask of the given index. When you define an object in GameMaker and you assign it to a mask to be used for collisions rather than the one that corresponds to the defined sprite, this variable can be used to find the sprite index of that mask, or it will return -1 if no sprite has been assigned. Or to set the mask for an instance to the chosen sprite, setting the mask index means that you can have, for example, a sprite for the instance with an irregular shape, yet give it a circular collision mask that is gotten from a different sprite. I think I might do this, guys. I think I might do this. I think we can figure this out. So, well, actually, it will always return 1 the way it currently is. And it is possible to get the text height and width. So we would just need to make sure that we get that. Let me see real quick. I don't remember off the top of my head how to do that. Text height. Nope, that's definitely not it. Get. String height. There's string height, pass in string, and then you can do the same thing with string width. Yep, string width. What's the string length? Number of characters. Okay, so all we need is string height. What's the height? In pixels of the string based on the given separation and line break width. So that might actually come in handy. Oh, well, we don't need to pass in that separation width because we're not doing it in our string. So we'll just do string height and string width. So let's try this. String, let's call this score height equals string height score text. Yep, score text. Score width equals string width score text. Now to the left we can say bounding box left, we can say minus score width divided by 2, and then we'll probably just add a couple of pixels for padding on that just to make sure. Let's do 3, do the same thing, except we'll do score height divided by 2 plus 3, score width divided by 2 plus 3, and then, and this would actually be plus, it's instead of minus. That's still minus because it's the top. This will be plus. Score height divided by 2 plus 3. So let's try that first, guys, before we try anything else. Let me see what's different about these two. Left, top, right, bottom, white, 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 false. I think it just runs this twice. And let's just drop it down here as well. Well, let's leave that alone. And let's take all this other stuff away because we are just trying to make it fade out right here. We don't need it. Okay, let's try this. Pull up our compile window.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Nice. That's actually pretty close. Yeah, eat it. Chris, are you watching? So I think I can get that all white. I think what we're seeing right there is an inversion that I don't necessarily want to happen. I just got to figure out this function. Actually, just sit on top of it. Let's try that again. So do we want an outline? No, we don't want an outline. Color of all of them. X and Y coordinate of everything. Invert destination color. BM0. I gotta read what this does real quick. I think our answer is gonna be in how this works. Source and destination. Let's see if I can take this one more time. Go there. Oh, it's only taking me to this page. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Invert destination color. BM0. I'm surprised all white didn't work here. May just be able to say destination color. Let's try that. Let me think for a second, guys. Destination color right here. Okay, let's try. Actually, before I do that, sorry guys, I am experimenting at the moment because I'm not fully sure how blend modes work, and I'm still learning how they work. And so I'm just experimenting for a moment, and we'll see if this draws the color without trying to apply text color to it. I have a feeling that the text color was playing a role in how the blend mode was working on it, but we may run this and see the exact same thing, but we'll see.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
So it shows up as invisible at first. I think it is working, but without the way we had it, it wants to show up as invisible. Let's change this to BM, destination color, instead of inverting it. Make it the same here, hit play.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Okay, so that leaves it alone entirely when you just use the destination color. invert destination color. I'm going to try a couple of different ones of these guys. Invert BM source alpha versus BM0. So BM0, BM source alpha would be here. I mean, I do like this idea right here. If I could get this one. Let's try it.
Mission 1. Death at the docks. Go!
So it's inverting it no matter what I do, which is fine. It's just behaving differently on text than it normally behaves on sprites. Gosh. Yeah, it is a lot of work for this score counter. I think it'll be worth it. Might do one more thing, kind of go overboard with this. BM source alpha saturate. On both. Just to test this. There's got to be a way we can get this to work without having to go update the library completely. The font library to have white font as well. Oh my goodness.
Mission 1. Death at the docks. Go!
A black box over the top of it. Which, you know, was maybe expected, but man, I'd rather just I did notice that the top needed a couple more pixels and the left needed a couple more pixels. Top, let's say -3 instead of +3. And for the left, we'll say -3 instead of +3.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Ooh, that's pretty close. So I've got an idea. Instead of BM1, I think we go BM either destination or let's try destination alpha first. I think the thing is we just got to make sure we don't invert the color, so I'm going to try to stay away from inverting the color the way it was. So let's try this first.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Alright. BM destination color without inverting it. Now I know I kind of did this once, but I had it set to BM0 on the destination. If not, maybe I need to flip these two. Basically controlling source and destination in those two parameters. And I think we're close, but I'm missing something here.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Not quite. Alright, so I think I've got them flopped. BM1, I think I'll go BM. So I'm seeing here my original setting was destination color here. I don't know, I'm just going to try this. Again, we're experimenting, it's okay.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
That's my dad's idea. Oh my god, the last of your job. I put everything that I have into this.
Hmm.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Not ready to give up yet, Chris. Sorry, man. I mean, if I could figure this out, this would be a big help anyway. Invert destination color.
She tried to tame her here tonight, Beth.
So when I tried this earlier, I had BM blend mode, destination. Man, I'm starting to go back and forth in my head about what I had. Destination color and BM 0, so I'm trying BM 1 here. When I did BM 0, it basically made it look like it was just flashy. And I'm trying not to do that, so I'm trying BM 1 now.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go! Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
I know this was the original. Just gonna remind myself what it looked like. I think it... Yeah, the original just did a white and blue instead of just solid white.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Chris, are you watching? How do you like this one? Still want the white font. Man, that's so frustrating. It's got to be so close. Why does that work so nicely on a Sprite and not on this thing? Set blend mode. Normal, add, subtract, max.
Shock, disbelief, and anger tonight, especially since the alleged abuse involved a child under 12 years old. In Greensburg, neighbors say dumb behavior was didn't want to talk to us. Her husband remains in a Kentucky jail, brought from the church in Laimbeer for 3 years.
Source, destination.
Investigated for any crimes here in Indiana. He's due in court in Kentucky on sex charges on Friday. In Greensburg, Jenny Mike, Channel 13 Eyewitness News.
One. Let me change. Let me do one more update. And I thought I tried this once already. Don't feel like this is right, but I'm going to try it anyway.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
So I think the constant is related to the alpha setting, and that you could actually set these if you wanted to. Invert source alpha.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go! Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Yeah, I heard you. I will be.
Foxy, this is why I don't want you to eat your bones on this rug.
Invert the destination alpha. Can I invert the EM0? Invert source alpha.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
I might have just had an idea, so let me think about this for a second.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Let me check something real quick. Black. Sprite index, image index, and we were basically drawing the sprite as black in that very brief instance, and white here. White is basically normal. I'm gonna try black, see if we can get that flash going. But then again, we can't really control the color of the text here, and that's the problem in the first place.
Oh my gosh. Maybe it's your makeup. Yes. I'll get Sifa.
Okay.
Close away.
Alright.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Oh snap. It worked. I swear I was getting ready to give up on that. Alright, let's make them last just a little bit longer. No, nice. What? Can't mess with me, game maker. You better learn to step back. Alright, make these last a little bit longer. So move just a shorter. So move just a shorter distance, maybe a bit slower. Okay. Let me think about that for a second, Chris. Man. Okay, I got it. I got it. So we'll say speed equals 1. Let's make it a little bit slower, 0.5. And we'll say direction equals 90. We'll take the Y position off of here. And we'll have a counter that we let this thing show for. And this will be display max equals 90. Display max counter equals 0. Alright, man. Okay, hold on. Just hang tight just for 1 second. Plus plus. Make sure I got that right in the create. Yep, I knew I messed it up. Counter. So instead of doing it this way, if display counter is less than or equal to display counter max divided by 3. So 0 through 30. Through, so we'll do divided by 3 times 2. So that should go 30 times 2 should be 60. And then this guy should be display counter less than or equal to display counter max with no division. And then if display this is greater than display counter max, then destroy. So that'll be about a second and a half. 90 step should be about a second and a half, but it will go slow depending on what the speed is. So let's see what this does if I didn't screw up anything with any errors or anything.
Mission 1. Death at dusk.
I screwed something up. Display counter max. Let's say. What is display counter max? I mean, it should be 90. Let's look at that real quick. I screwed that up. That's the problem. Okay, play again. Alright, I'm trying one more time if you can hang tight for like 2 seconds, dude. Okay, man, but I understand if you gotta go, bro. Yeah, good progress, man. Slow and steady, man. It feels really slow right now, but trying to fix a lot of things that needed to be fixed. Waiting for the compile here.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
So do you see that? What do you think? Alright. So I'm fairly happy with that. I'm gonna go get the rest of that font. Nope, not that. Sprites. Yeah, let me look at that font real quick. Is this Aircruiser? No, don't continue editing. Oh man, my fonts must have moved positions. Because GameMaker is having a heck of a time finding them. Alright, close that guy. Let me go look at what my exact font is. It is listed as font title, which will be set in the persistent controller. I thought it's not there. Let's just look it up. Reset game. That's where it is. I should have just clicked on it, but instead we'll go this way. Reset game. Font title, sprite, bitmap, font title. Aha. Where is that? Where is that? Here we go. Edit sprite. Okay, so here's our actual text, and this now has been updated with a plus sign so that we can actually see the plus sign that I'm trying to show with the score indicator. So it looks like Chris just added this at 10:11 p.m. and this one looks like it's been added at 10:12 p.m. So I'm going to save these, and I'm actually going to change the name of them. Back, short for backup, and I know that's not how you spell back in backup, but just going to rename them. Sprite, bitmap, font, title, load sprite. Gotta download these puppies first. Get back here. Font and font. Download. Server problem. What's going on here, Google? Let's log out and log back in, see if that's the problem. Sometimes Google starts failing when it has problems with authentication. And when you have a couple different accounts, depending on what you need it for, then and you're switching between accounts, Google sometimes doesn't know how to handle that. Try this again. There we go. That appears to have been the problem. Five 12. Larger font, remove the background, open. I think I imported that incorrectly. Maybe not. Let me see here. Create from strip. Cancel. One more time. Create from strip, remove background, this guy, hit open. Number of images, man, I don't remember how many images are there. At least 26, right guys? That's how many are in the alphabet. Plus the numbers, that's 10. Plus a couple of characters, 36. Let's say 56. I don't know what the image width is. 20. I'm guessing at this point. So let's just start from the top here. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. 59, boys. And image width looks like it's 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, I mean, I think it's 20 because it looks like it's sitting right on top of where it should be for each one of them. We'll hit OK on that. Ah, my image height is wrong. I think it's a 20 by 20. Let's see here. There's the plus sign that I needed. Everything else looks like it's centered pretty well, actually. And there might be a 1 pixel gap in between each one of them. File. So let's try 19. Expecting them to cut off, yep. And the horizontal pixel offset 1. Is that right? 2, 3, 4. Nope. 20. Still looks correct. And the height is not 32, but rather probably 20. It's probably a square. Okay. And it looks like it's still too large. The 1 pixel gap looks good. 20 width looks good. I may actually take it down to 19 by like 15 or something like that. That's pretty close, actually. Look at that. That might be right on the money. 19, 15, and 1. This actually looks like 18, 15, and 1.